Hi guys, I'm live. It's Becky Chernick here in Chernick Consulting. So I have a few announcements I want to make today. And boy, let me tell you what, I've got this Ev and I on the Edge Facebook Live, and it's going to be Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, and it is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And boy, let me tell you something. It's going to be fantastic, fabulous. I am so excited about it. Actually, I thought about this. I am also thinking outside the norm, my box. And I thought, wouldn't it be good, or just maybe a better idea, that sometimes we have a different perspective coming into the car business, right? So fresh, new ideas that aren't actually inside the car business, but outside the car business. So here's what I thought. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring in Maria Tigger. She is the salon owner, Rowett salon owner. And boy, let me tell you, she is a master stylist. She is freaking amazing. No, she really is. She is amazing. And she actually is really cool. She comes from New Orleans, if that tells you anything, right? So she doesn't sugarcoat anything. And so she had to think through this whole COVID thing, right? And it's a really kind of an interesting perspective, because there's only 2 states that I'm aware of, and maybe there might be more today, tomorrow, whatever, hair salons that were allowed to be open. And she mentioned when Brian Kemp made the announcement that these hair salons are going to open in Georgia, she actually was freaking out about it. She's like, wait a second, this is too soon. I don't know about this whole thing. But on top of that, I mean, she got like all these emails and she got phone calls into the salon. Hey, by the way, business as usual. Great, I'll be there. I'm ready to go get my hair done. I can't wait to get out of the house. And no, I wasn't one of them. But I will tell you that she had to think through this first. I mean, before she opened up her doors, what exactly did that mean? What about these regulations? They are still regulations, health regulations, that sort of stuff. And she wanted to do it by the book, and she wanted to be safe about it. And she wanted to make sure that she still was able to give her customers a really good experience. So frankly, she had to think outside the box and get more innovative. How is she going to handle her employees with this whole thing? So I just think that in itself is a fantastic, fabulous story, how she really had to think hard. How do I make these changes? And, also not only have a safe environment, create a better customer experience, and she did. And we'll talk through that. And how to have that more consultative, approach in contacting the customer earlier on. And her email was just absolutely amazing in of itself, right? And how it, touched on everyone and how it affected her, this COVID crisis, and how she was going to make that whole thing, the salon experience, safe, but yet exceptional. So anyway, she's going to be discussing some of these innovative practices. I'm telling you right now, just hit home for me, because I know many of us, especially in the last 2 months, how are we going to meet our objectives? And do we want to really change the way that we've been doing business? Do we really want to have customers online and meet with customers online? And do we really want to give customers too much information? Do we really want customers to dig through their financing options before they ever make way into a dealership to buy a car? And how many dealers out there still today would rather get the appointment? And I'm going to tell you right now, salons aren't any different than that. You're going to find that pretty interesting. Just get the appointment and get the customer on in, and we'll figure it all out later. So she also had to think through that. Does that really make sense to get the appointment? Instead, let's talk to the customer. Let's find out information earlier on. And that has proven to be very successful for many of our dealers here over the past 2 months, as they experience this crisis. And so many also found maybe their volume had dropped 20, 30, 40%, but their profit had increased. And I think it is because, and Al Bertrand mentioned this on one of the lives last week on F&I on the Edge. Al Bertrand was there. Thank you, Al Bertrand, for being on. I really appreciate it. But he mentioned because, we are more upfront with our customers. And because of that, more upfront, more transparent, giving customers information, for crying out loud, so that they feel as if, hey, you want to make this a better experience for me too. So we're like together on this, right? So I thought that has really helped dealers to make a greater impact, higher profit on the front and the back end by having that more consultative approach. So we're going to talk through that and why that's so darn important. And, let's not go back to, maybe some of our other practices as far as, hey, business as usual, let's just get the customer in the dealership and we'll all figure it out later. Why can't we shorten the time it takes to buy a car? Why can't we make that happen? And we should. We've got to think not only right now, let's think about, 2, 3 years down the road, what is that going to look like? And let's get serious about it. So I'm really excited about this whole thing. I am so excited that Maria Tigert has agreed to come on with me on my F&I on the Edge, 8 p.m. Wednesday. And also I want to make a special announcement as well. We're going to have a Facebook Live, Mr. Ted Ings and I. And as we celebrate, it's been 1 year since he's had that fixed ops roundtable in New York. Go figure. I can't get over it's already been a year already. Oh my God, right? It is going to be an amazing Facebook Live with Ted Ings on Thursday. So I'll announce, actually that's at 2 p.m. Sorry, 2 p.m. Thursday. So hopefully you guys can be there with us. Mr. Ted Ings, he has a really hard time going on camera, right? I don't know. But so we'll make it fun, and we're going to talk through some of the reasons why, frankly, I even attended a fixed ops. What's an F&I person attending a fixed ops roundtable for? Why wouldn't I just go to Las Vegas and go to the Agent Summit, right? And go where everybody else goes. I decided I had to do something different. I am so done with doing what everybody else does. I like to think outside the box. I'm an innovator. I like to do things, not because I just want to change. I'm not doing that just to change, but, I want to make a greater impact in my business, right? And, by, I don't know, maybe going to Agent Summit would have been a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. I like a lot of the people that were attending. But I thought, what? Let me try to do something a little bit different. We need to do a better job bridging the gap between the finance department and service, right? What do we need to do to make sure that customer not only has the best buying experience and all with that F&I department, but how do we take that experience from that F&I department into the service department? And also, guys, I am so into automating the aftermarket experience. So we're going to talk through that with Ted Ings as well. That's Thursday at 2 p.m. So a lot going on this week, and you're going to see me a lot. You're going to see me a lot. So hopefully, guys, you tune in and be a part of this whole thing. Let's take a look. I've got Frederick. Thank you so much for being on here and saying hello. And we definitely are going live. We're doing something on Thursday, that's for sure too. So very much looking forward to our live, Frederick. And we also have Mark Acid. Thank you. Buying a car is a long process, and it took me at least 5 hours with my son. Ouch. See, I don't get that. So this is why we're going to kind of talk through that, because it doesn't need to take 5 hours. if we can meet the customer earlier on, engage with our customer earlier on, and that means well before they ever make their way into a dealership, we can cut this time in half. And you know what? That's what we need to do. Rebecca, keep up being the innovator. Thank you, Mark. I am not taking no for an answer. I promise you. I am just not. And I'm going to be bringing on some of the best guest speakers, and we're going to talk through some of these innovative best practices. And you know what, here again, guys, I'm not talking about changing the world, right? And upsetting the apple cart. What I'm talking about are these small steps, just small steps. You got to think it through, though. You got to think it through. And sometimes that's tough in of itself. But those small steps are going to make the biggest impact. And that's what this is all about. So we don't have to go ahead and change everything to change up. But we do have to start taking some of these small steps that make a major impact in what we do and how we do our business. So this is why, again, I'm here to announce Ev and I on the Edge. And you got to be here Wednesday night. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. 8 p.m. with Maria Taggart. And I'm telling you right now, she's cool. She is really cool, and she has herself together. She's an innovative practitioner, and she gets it. So hopefully you see it from a different perspective, why it's so important, in putting these other best practices in place that makes you stand out, right? And, following the pack doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. So a lot of good stuff here. Thursday, remember, I'm going to be on with Frederick as well, if I can say it, and also Mr. Ted Engs, and we're going to be announcing his anniversary, 1-year anniversary since he had his Fixed Ops Roundtable in New York. So guys, I hope to see you then, and thank you again. Appreciate it. You have a terrific Monday.